Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. This is the match reaction. Aston Villa 4, Everton, of course, nil. Um, yeah, before I get into this, like, comment, subscribe. It helps a lot. I will be hoping to do live videos when I hit 1,000 subs. That will be much appreciated if you could do any of them things for me. I feel like I've said this quite a number of times in the past 5 seasons. That's an absolute embarrassment all over the pitch. I couldn't give a fuck if it was the second game, the 20th game. I couldn't care. I couldn't care. You cannot. I'm sorry. It might be an old saying, an old opinion, but you can't get paid that much and put in a performance like that. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. I don't care. Like I said, what stage at the season it is. You cannot go into this game and perform like that, and all them away fans turn up. Rest in peace as well. Didn't say in my last video. Rest in peace to Michael, who sadly passed away on Everton's site at Bramley Moor Dock for the new stadium. My best wishes to him, and it's a absolute. They haven't put a performance in for him. They haven't put a performance in for any Everton fan out there. They haven't put it in for themselves as well. Like, I don't know how they could be on that pitch and not be embarrassed be embarrassed of how they performed and wear the shirt and wear the Premier League badge on the side. They shouldn't represent the Premier League playing like that. It's absolutely horrific. Every aspect of that game I watched was horrific. The worst team on the ball, and in my opinion, the worst team off the ball. No one makes runs. If they do, it's like there's no thought behind it. It's just, I'll leg it up the pitch. It's like pressing L1 on FIFA. You just let the player run. The player doesn't make a smart decision when he runs. He just keeps on running. Even if he's miles offside, keeps off running. It's a disgrace. We go on and we bang on about the attackers we need, which is still evidently, an issue. But the defence, man, and I said this in my other videos, we need another centre-back. Now, maybe there could have been an argument to play Branthwaite today, but is he even ready? And my worry is, he's played for PSG in a crap league, let's just be honest. About 2 or 3 teams in it. And from my understanding, PSV haven't gone back in for him. So that's a cause of concern. And he can't even get in the lineup over Michael Keane. And even you could put Tarkowski in that in as well. I think both of them were absolutely horrific today. Absolutely horrific. It was a state of a Burnley defence, which has seen Burnley go down a number of times in my lifetime. Resonating with that. It was the Burnley way today, and in regards to not winning very much games and getting battered the odd game in there. We wasn't Burnley in terms of being hard to beat and being competitive, because there was not a single bit of competitiveness. Oh god, that was a hard word to say. We just wasn't competitive enough anywhere along the field. We were second to everything. They bullied us. They was more physical. They seemed more sharper than us. You can't make an excuse with that, because we've had our pre-season. They've had their pre-season. Theirs was a lot more intense in terms of who they were playing. We was playing teams I've never heard of before, and then some championship teams where we should fucking belong, to be honest. It's absolutely pathetic, and it's the attitude as well. I can go into all the goals. The goals, all of them, was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Especially the third and fourth. Oh, I don't even want to. You know what? I'm not going into it, because what's the point? what's the point of me going on about certain players not doing certain things when we know they're not fucking good enough? There's no point me going on about it. But Ashley Young's throwing, it's a shame as well, because out of many players, he was kind of the only one who looked like he had the brain out there. But it's a disgrace of a throw-in. And you know what? When that lad come on for Aston Villa, I totally forgot his name because never heard of him in my life. I said to myself, and I was going to pull on Twitter, but I'm watching the game on Sky Go, so I'm a bit behind. And I was going to pull on Twitter, and I thought there was no point because, well, it made sense. It wouldn't have made. It would have been pointless me putting it on Twitter because it already happened in real life and everyone's watching it like a minute ahead of me. But I was going to say, I just knew he was going to score. They said he's never scored. He's only had 100 and something minutes in the Premier League. He's come from America, Chicago Town or Chicago Fire. And I just thought he's going to score here because we're just an absolute mess. And I was just too busy on my phone, I kind of just got lost and I don't recognise this club anymore. I've seen far too many defeats over the years like these now, and it's where we just haven't turned up, we haven't been bothered, and it's just been a case of you shouldn't even be getting your wages this week for that type of performance. Like, you can have a bad performance, but there's a lack of effort, a lack of ideas or anything. There was just nothing. But yeah, that's what I don't even like watching Everton anymore, but I still do because I support them and I always will. But I fucking hate watching them. I hate it. It's just dire all the time. We are, apart from probably Brighton last year, there's many games where we just rely on a team making a mistake and pouncing on it if we can. There's never really us outplaying a team ever. There's barely a good performance in every season I've seen in the past few years. And our record against Aston Villa is horrendous. In recent times, they've never won 5 in a row against Everton or been unbeaten. I think it's win 5 games in a row in the entire history, the most played fixture in top flight football. And we've broken another unwanted record. And I was hoping out for a draw. I did say a draw in my prediction because you just don't know. And there was promising signs against Fulham. And I thought in my head, I hoped, which is the most dangerous thing to do with this club, is hope. Is to just have that slight bit of hope that from that Fulham game and what's happened the past 2 seasons, maybe we can reset and actually, had a little bit of trust in Dyche that he could put it right, set us up to be strong and whatnot, and we just completely, absolutely capitulated again. I don't know what it is with away games when we concede the first goal and the crowd's going off their head, and then play resumes, we absolutely shit our pants. There's barely a moment where we equalise away from home. We stopped the oncoming threat. It was just an absolute disaster. We just absolutely crap ourselves every time. I don't understand why. There's a lot of players here who haven't played for Everton for years, and it's like it's some sort of virus that once they walk into the club, they become a fucking shit house, and that's what a lot of them are. Yeah, I mean, you could say about the penalty, might have not touched them, I don't know, but at the end of the day, we don't deserve any luck if we don't turn up, and we did deserve, we've had bad luck regarding to Calvert-Lewin going off, looking like he's just gone through a few rounds of Nate Diaz. Iwobi pulls up as well, even though he was absolutely not influential at all in the game. Just ran around with his annoying run. He's got such an annoying run on him. I don't know what it is. He just looks like a kid trying to play football or trying to chase his dad around the park, and never gets the ball. And if he does, just fuck all with it. The majority of the time. Michael Keane looked like he was on stilts. Yeah, but the penalty, just all of them. Onana does nothing. I don't know what Onana does, and you know what? Let him go. Let him go. I've seen far too many games now, and I know it's the only second game of the season. And apparently he was all right against Fulham, and I said, we looked good, apparently, from what I could see. Um, but Fulham wasn't that good that day, and he still beat us. It proves, because Fulham got battered by Brentford 3-0. They're not as good, and they've lost a big signing. So maybe it wasn't as hard, and they didn't even have Paulinho against us as well, who mops up the whole of the midfield, according to his stats and that. So Onana had a pretty much easy game. I say first time round, and first time the season he's been challenged, and he's absolutely bottled it. Decore running into thin air. Garner tried in the first half, but just lost his way in the second. Mopey coming on, I just honestly felt like turning the TV off. You can't give someone that many chances, and for them to be absolutely fucking shocking for 9.9.999% of the time. Dobbin tried when he come on. Just has no composure about him. He's still a kid in a rough, and I feel like he's had a lot of games to still have that composure about him. He doesn't seem like he has it at all. And listen, I don't want to judge him too much, but I just don't think he's got it. My personal opinion, I can't see it with Lewis Dobbin, but I hope he proves me wrong. But 3-4 times he progressed with the ball and absolutely knocked the ball about 20. I thought he was playing golf at first. He was knocking them yards ahead of himself, and it was diabolical not to know how to run with a ball properly. Danchuma's pretty much the bright spark for me, and he's not even match fit and match sharp. Just looked like he had a brain, tried to make things happen. All the rest of them shit houses when it got to 3-0. Damage limitation, you could say, but there was no one in that lineup apart from when Danjuma come on, who thought, I'm going to try and take the game with the scruff of the neck and just try and do something. They all just safe passing, mediocre runs off the ball, which was just pathetic. I thought it was absolutely pathetic, the whole everything. It was embarrassing. It was actually like, teams get beat heavily, whatever. Results not great, you get laughed at by the fans, but the actual performances as well, and the absolute, like, Aston Villa didn't even get out the car, didn't even get in the car, sorry, he didn't even get in the car, never mind second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth, first, they didn't even switch on the engine. It was that bad, like, it was pathetic. It was like a charity game of Premier League footballers against celebrities and TikTok influencers and all that kind of crap. It was embarrassing to watch. Like, I couldn't believe, if you just put someone who's never watched Premier League football before and watched that game, they would have gone, how the fuck is this the best league in the world? Because all I'm seeing is a team who knows how to play football and another team who's trying to learn how to play football but not very good at it. Not very good at it, awful at it. I don't know where we go from here. You could just say it's the second game of the season, but to me that's absolutely terrifying what I've just watched. Just there to start, first time we've been bottom of the Premier League since 2010. Funny enough, back in them days, they were good old days. And obviously we turned our season around after whenever finishing at the bottom of the table at a certain week in that year, but it's horrendous to look at. 20th, -5, no goals scored, and -5 in goal difference and 5 goals conceded. So it's an absolute horrendous start. There's no ways about it. It's most likely won't have DCL now for next week. He hasn't suffered a concussion, but it looks like from what we've seen, he's got something fractured in his face, and most likely you won't be playing for a bit. So it's not even a hamstring injury now. It's not even a broken toenail. It's now something on his face, which is his prized possession for his modelling and stuff. I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm worried. I know we've got quite a number of players out. I thought Patterson today, just because I was thinking of Coleman being out. Patterson was absolutely horrific. I think that's the worst game I've seen him in. He got absolutely bullied all game by Luka Dean. And I don't know why they've gave him so much freedom. They're a big threat. Listen, they can play through the middle as well, Aston Villa. Let's not joke about it, they can. But they've got such aerial threat as well with Watkins. And you just leave a deadly dead ball specialist like Luka Dean, and not even just that, he's just a good crosser anyway. The freedom to do what he wants. Just pathetic, all of it. Absolutely pathetic. It's comical that our last 2 goals were to do with our throw-in and their throw-in. That was the 2 assists, was their throw-in and our throw-in for their last 2 goals, which is absolutely shambolic. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. I don't understand as well why we brought Chimetti or whatever his name is, which I did say to gamble signing, because we need reinforcements now to keep us in this league. And he turns up to Villa Park and he's not even in the squad. So I don't fucking understand why he turned up. He just might as well just sat in the fucking stands with the rest of the fans. I don't understand. I will not understand that. And there's been no explanation of it from what I know. I'm fucking raging. I was kind of nonchalant to all of it. I was kind of just not giving a fuck at the time, but and I've just watched that West Ham Chelsea game, and both teams are fighting and having some sort of way of playing. I just didn't know what we was today. I genuinely don't know what that was. I'm confused of how it's still like this. How long can it go on? Is Sean Dyche's job in jeopardy? But then again, changing manager just doesn't work, doesn't it? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I think this club's cursed. I genuinely believe this club's cursed. This club is made to just disappoint you. It should change to nothing but the best is good enough, but it should be nothing but the worst is good enough. Because that's all they give us is fucking tormental, depression, embarrassments. Just losing the will to watch this team and support them, man. They are really destroying my love for football because of. And just before I end this as well, I mentioned you get beaten games. Listen, if we lost today 2-1, it is what it is. If we lost 4-0 and actually put on a performance in and we just got carved, they just play great football and just beat us in that way, it is what it is. But the state of the performance and the attitude for a lot of the players was horrendous. And, I seen Onana laughing in like the 86th minute. I don't know who he's laughing at. He should be laughing at himself. And then Mikalenko on the bench. A fucking embarrassment. I haven't seen anyone put anything up yet on Twitter or Facebook or any meme pages. But you're 4-0 down and he's trying to stick his apron or something and wrap it around his head. Like a bow on his head. I was watching him going, what on the fuck are you doing? Like, it's just fucking comical. Anyway, well, I don't look forward to the next game now. My hope and optimism for this season again has quickly evaporated after the first few weeks of the Premier League season. So I'm not looking forward to Wolves next at home. I know most of you fans are not. You go, this is our chance to get back. No, it's not. It's not. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. We should have put a performance in today. We should have battled with Villa, because it's not just us who lost last weekend, it was them. So we knew how they was going to come out, and we didn't deal with it whatsoever. I don't fucking understand the plan and anything for that game, because nothing seemed to be happening for us. Nothing seemed to be working, and nothing seemed to be just everything just didn't seem. Everything just seemed like it was a lot of effort for all of them to deal with. But yeah, not looking forward to next week. Probably get beat by Wolves. I would not be fucking surprised. They've just lost 4-1, so we're playing again against another team. It's just been hammered, but we've been hammered as well. But we won't turn up though, because, you know, what's the point? Let's just drop our heads and think we're shit. When, yes, in reality, most of you are. Yeah, so we'll end up, you know, I'll give an early prediction anyway. And this is not just a raw feeling I have towards the game. I just think I think anyone who's out of the starting lineup, and I barely see it at all, where there's no one who really stakes a name for themselves and goes, no, I want to be in the starting lineup. I couldn't give a fuck if Harrison's out or Calvert-Lewin now. Fucking hell, I forgot the other players. Coleman, McNeil. None of them seem to like want to fight for their position, because that is an utter disgrace. None of them should even be on the bench the next game. They should be in the reserves. So yeah, I'm dreading next week, to be honest. Absolutely dreading it. But yeah, we could easily be 3 games, 3 losses before the international break. What a fucking start. But we'll have to see, because I can't predict anything now with this club. I've always said don't bet on Everton because they will let you down. But yeah, I'm out. Sorry for rambling on a bit too long. I'm just pissed off. I'm really just so... my feelings towards this club's just getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I'll see you all some point throughout the week when we don't sign anyone, and I'll just update that we've bought some more. You know, Everton's brought in more merchandise in the shop or something instead of players. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what I'm talking about now, but I'm out, and I'll see you later.